What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, I'm bringing to you all the information you're going to need about the coordinate plane. And so our very first step here is we have to label our coordinate plane. So we notice first off that let's talk about the line that is going horizontal or left to right. We call this the x-axis. So this x-axis, all that this is a horizontal number line. So it starts at 0 and it has our positive numbers going to the right and our negative numbers going to the left. The second line we're going to take a look at is the line that goes up and down. So this line that goes up and down, we call this the y-axis. And we notice that this is just a vertical number line. So it starts at 0. And positive numbers go up, negative numbers go down. And so here on our coordinate plane, we have what you call quadrants. So we notice that there are 4 spaces on our coordinate plane here. So in their top right-hand corner, this is going to be quadrant number 1. We do this with a Roman numeral sign, number 1. So this represents numbers. The x-coordinate is going to be positive, and the y-coordinate is going to be positive. So we'll talk about how to graph those in a minute. And so this starts at number 1. Now we're going to quadrant number 2. So we did a Roman numeral for that. Looks like 2 i's joined together. And our coordinates for this, these are going to be negative x coordinates and positive y coordinates. So now we're going to keep going counterclockwise. Now we're going to be in quadrant number 3. This is where our x coordinate is negative and our y coordinate is negative. So now we're going to take a little trip all the way to the last quadrant in number 4. So this is an IV. This is where our x-coordinate is positive and our y-coordinate is negative. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you in some questions. We're going to ask you to plot certain points. So we'll talk about how to do that. But it's also going to ask you which quadrants they are located in. So please go ahead and refer to this little chart here with your Roman numerals that are properly labeled to figure out which quadrants different points are located. So when plotting coordinates, we're going to plot the x value first. So our x value, we have our x-axis. This one goes left to right. So we always start at 0. And the x-coordinate will tell us either to go left or to go right. And then we're going to plot the second coordinate, up or down. So wherever we stop at for our x-coordinate, then we go up or down. So let's get some examples of this. So we need to plot letter A, which is going to be -3, -1. So our very first step is we start at 0, and we're going to go plot -3. So let's go ahead and go to -3, and then we stop. So now we're going to go to -1. So we know -1 is going down 1 space. So let's go ahead and plot that point right there at -3, -1, and label that with a letter A. And it asks you a question, which quadrant is this located in? So if we go and label our quadrants, starting with number 1, remember it goes around in a circle, number 2, number 3, and number 4, point A is located in quadrant number 3. What about +2, -6? So we go and start right in the middle in our origin. Let's go +2. So we did our x-coordinate. Now let's do our y-coordinate. So we're going to go down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and label our point here. This is point B. And it's asking us which quadrant is this located in. So let's go ahead and label them again if they're not labeled on your page. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is going to be located in quadrant number 4. Let's try another one. Let's go ahead and label plot C. So our point C here. So what we do is we're start in the middle. Our x-coordinate is 0. All that means is we are not going anywhere. So now let's go ahead and model our y-coordinate. So we're going down 1. We're going to label this as point C. And it tells us which axis is this located. So we know that our x-axis goes left to right. And our y-axis, so we label that as x. And our y-axis is going up or down. So point C is located on the y-axis. This is on the one that goes up or down. So now let's go ahead and plot these coordinates 5, 0. And so let's go ahead and plot 5 first. So we start at the origin. Let's go over to 5, 3, 4, 5. And to do y as our 0, it means we're not going anywhere. So we're going to go and plot that point there and label it C. So we have to figure out which axis is this located on. So you know that the x-axis is going left to right, and it lies on the x-axis.